in the secret labyrinth, there lived a hag, a wizard, and 3 little haglets. And the little haglets had a little attitude problem. One day the haglets were whining and complaining, and they called for their helpers, the trolls. They said, "Trolls, get in here! Trolls, get in here!" The trolls came running, stomping, and they said, "What is it? What is it?" Each of the haglets had a request for the trolls. First was Emma's.
I need a manager.
Then Barrett's.
I'm bored.
And Miles, of course, wanted a bowl of ice cream.
Give me some ice cream now.
And they said, "Hop to it now!"
Hop to it now.
All right.
All right.
So the trolls lumbered off that way to take care of all these requests. Agatha, their mother, was not pleased. "I don't like the way you're speaking to those trolls.
I don't like the way you're speaking to those trolls.
You really need an attitude check."
You really need an attitude check.
They said, "No, we don't."
No, we don't.
The wizard said, "I really think you do."
I really think you do.
They said, "We don't have to listen to this.
We don't have to listen to this.
We're leaving."
We're leaving.
And they stomped off to their playroom. The wizard said, "What are you going to do about them?"
What are you going to do about them?
She said, "I don't know. I'll think of something."
I don't know. I'll think of something.
Well, later that day, at the end of a hard day's work, the trolls came out and sat down outside on a big rock. And they said, "I'm sick of working for those hags."
I'm sick of working for those hags.
Jack said, "Me too.
Me too.
I really just want to quit."
I really just want to quit.
"Why don't we?"
Why don't we?
Jack said, "That would be great.
That would be great.
Then we can open up our own restaurant."
Then we can open up our own restaurant.
And Lance, the troll, looked around and he said, "Hey, look up there.
Hey, look up there.
There's an abandoned restaurant."
There's an abandoned restaurant.
Jack said, "What a coincidence.
What a coincidence.
Let's not even bother quitting.
Let's not even bother quitting.
Let's just not show up."
Let's just not show up.
So the 2 trolls ran to the restaurant and began straightening things up a bit. They made sure all the tables and all the chairs were set properly, and there was enough food in the kitchen. And when they had finished, they were really, really excited. They said, "I can't wait for our first customer."
I can't wait for my first customer.
And they got to the front door and waited. And right about that moment, 2 mermaids happened upon the restaurant. When they got inside, the troll said, "How can we help you?"
How can we help you?
The mermaids took one look at the trolls and said, "Is this your restaurant?"
Is this your restaurant?
Uh-huh. They said, "We will not be served by trolls."
We will not be served by trolls.
And they bounced away. Those 4 trolls, they were a little discouraged, but Jack and Lance said, "Maybe somebody else will come by."
Maybe somebody else will come by.
And they did. 2 fairies flew in the door. And when they arrived, they said, "Table for 2, please."
Table for 2, please.
"Right this way."
This way.
The fairies were seated, and Lance the troll took their drink order.
What would you like to do? I would like a Diet Coke, please. I would like Diet Coke.
So he headed off to the kitchen. And Jack took their order.
What would you like to do? Your specialty. Okay.
So he headed off to the kitchen to get the customer arrived. This one looked promising. It was a dragon. He said, "I need a table for one."
I need a table for one. It's my turn.
He said, "Do you have slug soup on the menu?"
Yes, that's on the menu. Yes.
So they went back and got him his food, and very quickly turned around and brought it back. But when they did, the dragon reached for the soup and knocked over the chair and the table. And he said, "Oh." The dragon said, "Oops, I'm too big for this restaurant. I better not stay." And he flew away. The trolls said, Man! They went and they sat down right over here. And they pouted for a little while. But then Jack said, "You know, I think we need a new image."
I think we need a new image.
Lance said, "Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right.
We need somebody who's honest and trustworthy."
We need somebody who's honest and trustworthy.
And Jack said, "Somebody who's noble and brave."
Somebody who's noble and brave.
While they were thinking about who that person might be, right at that moment, two knights walked into the restaurant. And they stopped. They looked around. They said, "You got any food?" The two trolls looked at each other and said, "One more time." They came right up here. They turned around and they raised their hands, and the knight said, "What did you do to us?"
What did you do to us?
Jack said, "We put a spell on you.
We put a spell on you.
You can't leave now.
You can't leave now.
You have to work here."
You have to work here.
So the trolls then said, "Pick up that chair, straighten
Pick
it
up
up."
that chair. Straighten up the table.
And they did just that. Then the trolls came over here to discuss their next person. Lance said, "Now we need a cook.
Now we need a cook.
Somebody